Hello, this is Blake Templeton, CEO of LubbockInvest.com. We specialize in building wealth for our clients through real estate where they can truly rest while they invest because everything is truly done for you. You may have recognized us from recent publications of our company in places like Bloomberg Businessweek, Dallas Business Journal, CNBC, and Midland Daily News, just to name a few. Or maybe you're a regular on a radio show on AM 580. Why have we been featured? Well, the reason we've been featured in these publications is due to the accurate research that we have on the current economy. It's just now that people are even willing to listen to what we have been saying about the economy for quite some time. Before I even begin, let me say, I don't say any of this lightly. I have no interest in trying to worry people or in creating drama. Matter of fact, I hate drama. I'm simply following sound research to its most logical conclusion. What's the current climate of our economy? Before I answer this question, I want to share with you that this is a 100% educational webinar. I'm doing this webinar for two reasons. One, to give you a reality, a revelation, if you will, of what's currently going on and how it will devastate the investment world. But more importantly, number two, what you can do about it and how you can reposition your funds and your investments to safeguard them. The facts don't lie. The purchasing power of the dollar has dropped and has significantly declined since 1983 continuously. The dollar's dropped 10% in the last 2 years. The Federal Reserve has printed more money in 2009 than they printed in the first 100 years of America's existence. Which means your dollar is worth less every single time we print money. To pay what? Well, our debt. This means every $100 that you invest in the last 2 years, 2 years later it would only be worth $90. Not to mention that the inflation rate is higher than most people's return on their investment, which means you truly lost money when you thought you made money. The exchange value of the US dollar has fallen by nearly 10% since June of 2010. The Consumer Price Index says that the inflation rate right now is 3.1%. However, that's not true. Grocery prices have gone up 5.3%, gasoline prices have gone up 9.7%, and the absolute true inflation rate that is averaged out over everything based by the American Institute for Economic Research is 8.1%. What does that mean? If you're not making 8.1% return on your investment, well, you're losing money. Unemployment, contrary to popular belief of our government, is truly 22% when we look at every single person. Our U.S. goal, unfortunately, is to devalue the dollar. February 6th of 2012, FOMC, Federal Reserve Open Market Committee, announced its goal to devalue the dollar 33% over the next 20 years. This is an extra 2.5% inflation on top of the ridiculous 8.1% already. So the question to ask yourself, with this new knowledge, truly ask yourself, how much am I currently losing in my investments every single year just because of inflation? Global climate is heating up. The collapse of the euro is around the corner. Greece may end up leaving despite the temporary stalling they're doing and huge withdrawals from Spanish and Italian banks as depositors try to move their money to Germany. I tell you what, the market cycle is truly dead. The repeating market cycle has truly come to an end because there are new variables that are not present in the past, which means the global economy is the very organ that runs the investment body of the stock market, the mutual funds, CDs, US bonds, etc. The US is the worst off. Let me tell you why. Because big US banks hold the debt for the European government, and China's largest export market is Europe. US owes more money to more people than any other country in the history of the world. If that wasn't bad enough, the true danger is a double threat. Number one, the US dollar is on the road to losing its status as the world's reserve currency. And the quantitative easing phase 1 and quantitative easing phase 2 by the Federal Reserve pumped $2 trillion into the economy. Well, have you not seen it yet? The reason is because it hadn't actually hit yet. I'll share more about that in a minute. It's already started though. The countries have already begun trading commodities for oil versus buying with the US dollar, which is the reserve currency. Let me hold on to this point for 2 seconds. The US dollar was always the reserve currency when purchasing oil. Well, now we have 17 countries in the last few months have now gone around this traditional rule that's been set in place for as long as it's been in existence. 17 countries now have gone around that, which means it is the U.S. currency, or the reserve currency is not the U.S. dollar any longer. This is an informal rejection of the dollar as a reserve currency, since the dollar has always been the standard. The effects are this: the devastation of the dollar losing its status as the world's reserve currency cannot be overstated. It's the only thing that has kept us as a country from crumbling thus far. Once the banks truly begin distributing this $2 trillion to the public, inflation will skyrocket. This is the main reason for the effects of QE1 and QE2 and why they haven't hit home yet. And this is why a huge financial crisis is imminent. I tell you now, it will take place, and you better know where your investments are, and they better be safeguarded, because the inevitable will come. All of these facts have forced me to ask one critical question: where should we be putting our money? How would you feel if your money manager threw up his hands and said, "My approach no longer works"? Well, former Goldman Sachs star Peter Cross did just that. He said, put it simply, the fundamental rules of prudent long-term investing aren't working. That was just last year, November. Here's the truth. If you know what to do, you can reorganize, get this investment portfolio in the right place, and truly create wealth preservation. You're going to need to know how to do that. And because of that, we have set up a critical market briefing. At this critical market briefing, we're going to touch on and cover how to beat inflation, how to leverage the declining purchasing power of the dollar, 3 things the government does not want you to know about, why the global climax is probable, and what to do about that collapse. The collapse is inevitable. It will take place. And we want you to know how to prevent it for your investments. We're also going to share on why what your money manager can't do for you might be killing you. We're also going to share on where we are putting our money as a company, Lubbock Invest, how we invest, and the key to beating the coming collapse. We're going to share on all these facts, and you need to know these things so that your wealth is preserved, protected, and is truly producing return on investment that you're proud of. Reservations. We want you to reserve your seat at the critical market briefing and enjoy a steak dinner on us. Naturally, obviously, because of this information, this is very limited seating, and if you're serious about this financial future decision and protecting your wealth, we would love to invite you to act now and reserve your seat by clicking the above link. Urgent critical market briefing is what this is. It's urgent. So, again, reserve your seat by clicking the reserve link. And again, dinner will be served. We are proud to say that we have been able to share this critical market briefing with multiple other individuals at events recently, and it's had overwhelming effects in helping them preserve their finances and exponentially grow their investments. Again, reserve your seat by clicking the reserve link. God bless you guys and have a blessed day.